they are not supporting it?
Because Justin Trudeau is a wacko.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the answer. We
Okay.
have a wacko for a prime minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back. In today's report, another reporter tried to debate with Pierre Poilievre at a press conference today, and you guessed it, it really didn't end well for the reporter. As well, tonight, the city of Jasper has now burnt down to ashes, and the entire internet is debating who is responsible for this. And over in America, Andrew Schulz previews the next election, and the funniest clip we'll see today, we also have far-left activists putting maggots and pulling fire alarms in Benjamin Netanyahu's hotel, and the far left are now burning American flags. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Before we start tonight's report, are you absolutely fed up of the bias of the liberal media? If the answer is yes, smash the subscribe button because I'm going to show you the news the mainstream media won't. Welcome to your Thursday report. But first, a message from our sponsor, A Brain.
I used to believe everything I'd see on the news, but that's before I discovered A Brain.
A Brain is meant for everyday use. Those living with moderate to severe stupidity have seen immediate improvement in common sense with A Brain.
I thought the government had my best interests at heart, and then a friend told me about A Brain.
Talk to your doctor about what news sources you obey. A Brain may also lower your desire to take life-altering advice from celebrities.
Getting lectured about my carbon footprint from people with 3 private jets used to make sense. But thanks to A Brain, now I can think for myself every day. When my disregard for 3rd grade biology began to flare up, I knew it was time for A Brain.
Do not try A Brain if you're allergic to A Brain. Common side effects may include accountability, discernment, homeschooling your kids, a better understanding of economics, awareness of the stupidity of socialism, and diarrhea.
For tethering yourself to reality, the only no-brainer is choosing A Brain. Ask your doctor if A Brain is right for you.
For more information, visit tryabrain.com.
Oh yes, another news show that is sold out to the pharmaceutical industry. It's okay because I truly believe in A Brain. I think many people in Canada and the United States need A Brain, and I'm glad to support it on this show. Now that we got the sponsorships out of the way, I just want to say we have a really good show here today, so definitely stick around till the end. In tonight's first story, we're going to talk about Pierre Poilievre. Now, we've covered a lot of his back and forth with reporters on this channel, and for whatever reason, these reporters keep picking fights with Pierre. And at today's press conference, another woke reporter decided to try to take his shot, and, well, Pierre Poilievre completely outclasses him. What?
Good morning, Jonathan from CTV News. Just along the lines of what you've been talking about already,
CTV.
Mr. Poilievre, in regards to drawing kind of a tough line of what your party is proposing. Scott Cortese is with the London Area Community Health Centre, just located over here. During the police announcement, which I know your party is very familiar with, said that he wants a little time to come up with better protocols, better options, better avenues. Is there any compromise here? You've drawn quite a line this morning, but is there any compromise opportunity where you could work with some of these folks, come up with a modified plan, or is there strictly one option here in your mind?
Are you talking, on what subject? Are we talking now drugs or crime?
I'm talking safe supplies.
Well, again, how can you possibly report on the story when you're already using government propaganda? It's not safe. Yes, that's the problem. You're using the term they're using. How can you, so you've decided, you've already made up your mind, you're going to report their statements as though they're true. Well, why are you using their language?
Yeah, that's the language being used in various news conferences and other policies.
Oh, yes, there are, of course. So you're just being force-fed talking points by the authorities who caused the problem in the first place.
Boom!
This is exactly the problem. This is exactly the problem. It's exactly the problem. How's it working?
I'm just asking you to answer the question of whether or not there's any room to work with these other agencies or not, or whether you're going to stick to your proposals, which are your proposals. That's all I'm asking, sir.
My proposal is recovery and treatment. Am I going to give more money to these agencies that have caused the crisis? No. They're not going to get any more money. They've caused the mayhem. Have you been around, have you seen the tent cities?
I lived in this very neighborhood for 8 years.
Have you seen the tent cities?
Wow. Get them.
Okay, and you think that these agencies are doing a good job?
I think there's, sir, it's not my job to debate a federal leader on this issue, sir, but I will say that...
I'm asking you a question. Are you think they're doing a good job when you go to see the tent cities that are popping up everywhere in the country?
The community is doing the best job.
I agree with you on that, the community, but the agencies are different than the community. And again, you're repeating their talking points. I mean, there was a time when reporters believed their job was to hold government accountable, not regurgitate their talking points. And that's what you're doing when you say safe supply. It's heroin grade opioids that they want to give out. And it is being diverted to kids. It's not safe.
Spit.
Since this
Let's
policy
go.
was enacted, we have seen overdose rates more than double across Canada. And where these policies have been most enthusiastically embraced, like British Columbia, it's 400%. I don't understand how the media goes to the same agencies and public health bureaucrats who helped cause the crisis and calls them the experts, when in fact the results of their policies are plain for all eyes to see. There's 256 homeless encampments in Toronto now. 50 of them have opened up in 3 months alone. Like the 25% of Canadians are living in poverty. We've had 40,000 people die of drug overdoses. The approach that we're taking, that the NDP Liberals and the bureaucracies that they employ are taking, is only making things worse. I will be taking that money and giving it to treatment and recovery services, not more drugs. Frankly, these NDP Liberal bureaucrats and activists who have been sucking up all the money are responsible for the crisis. We saw in BC, the public health authority there wants to make drugs available in corner stores everywhere. Wow. They want to have something called compassion clubs where the government would give drugs out for people, to drug distributors who would wander around giving them out freely to anybody who wants them.
Is that true?
This is why we're in the mess. We need a drastic departure from the nightmare that the radical, wacko, NDP Liberal agenda has caused in our streets. We need to lock up hardened criminals. We need treatment and recovery. We need to ban hard drugs. We need to bring our loved ones home drug-free. Thank you.
Thank you.
I absolutely love how Pierre Poilievre's taking no crap on this. No crap. The media wants to use woke language like safe supply and caring and healthcare, but what it really is destroying our cities. These so-called experts and academics who think they have it all right need to actually look at our Canadian cities. It's actually getting worse. These people are stubborn. They can't admit what they're wrong. And thankfully, Pierre Poilievre is fighting for common sense. And one thing I also like about Pierre is his willingness to talk to independent media. Unlike Jagmeet Singh, who was in Toronto today and asked a very basic question, and of course, he didn't answer it because it was Rebel News. Shout out to my buddy Lincoln J for this clip.
My name's Lincoln J. I work with Rebel News. I just have a quick question for you.
We don't talk to Rebel.
Really quick question. Really quick question. Do you think all these foreign workers are driving down wages for working class Canadians? Quick question.
Sorry, man. I would chat with you normally, but I don't support Rebel. Sorry, man.
Thank you
for your time. We're gonna. Do you want to take a photo?
You didn't answer my question last time I saw you, but I'll ask it again.
Typical commie. This is a commie right here. Only media he approves of he'll answer questions from. Makes me sick.
Answer. Why do you continue to support?
If you were with Rebel News, man, I would love to chat with you. You're a very charming fellow, but I don't.
Why do you continue to support Justin Trudeau when you know Canadians want him out? Mr. Singh, just come on, answer one quick question from me, man. One quick question, Mr. Singh. Do you think? Do you think that foreign workers are driving down wages for working class Canadians?
Wow.
It's just a simple, Mr. Singh. It's just a simple question.
Now look, I'm not a fan of approaching politicians when they have kids in their arms. Okay, I'll give you that point. But here's the thing. This guy never answers questions from Rebel News or any independent media. So what choices do these journalists really have? Jagmeet remains an absolute scumbag. Now let's move things over to Alberta in Jasper, where one of the nicest parts of our entire country is now up in flames. It's horrible. This is truly heartbreaking. Hard to watch, man. And upon seeing these historic fires in Alberta, the left are losing their minds and rushing to blame this on climate change. In this viral tweet, which has 14,000 likes, okay, from last night, this brainwashed liberal says Jasper, Alberta, one of the most beautiful places in the world. Okay, I agree with you on that. Firefighters don't think anything will be left by the morning. I can't stop crying. Okay, it is sad. Danielle Smith says there's no climate change. Okay, here comes the crazy. And no need to allocate money for forest fires. The Conservatives destroyed Jasper. Right, so she's can't stop crying because the Conservatives started the fire, according to the radical left. Now, I put out this tweet this morning that's going viral as well here, 9,000 likes in a few hours. Here's what I had to rebuttal to that. The Jasper forest fires were not caused by climate change. They happened because we sent $12 billion to Ukraine instead of equipping our own country with the equipment to fight fires. The liberal government failed to protect our national park. Don't let them gaslight you. And for those of you who want to know what we could have done with the $12 billion we sent to Ukraine, let me show you this. With the money we sent to Ukraine, we could have bought 50 of these water bombers, okay? Actually, no, it's a joke. We could have bought 50 of those water bombers, and with the money left over, we could have bought 250 more. Yes, we could have bought 300 of these water bomber planes for all the money Canada sent to Ukraine. But this even gets crazier because in 2023, look at this press conference with Justin Trudeau. Don't worry, it's not a long clip. But here he's bragging about how he sent water bombers to Europe.
Today we're going to be able to announce with this summit that we've worked out a deal for Canadian water bombers to be built across Canada and shipped to Europe so that they have the Canadairs they need to continue to fight a changing climate. These are the kinds of things that friends can do when they come together.
So as our country sends $12 billion to Ukraine, as our country sends water bombers to Europe, it's obvious that they don't care about us, Canadians. They care about other countries and looking good on the world stage as our country literally burned. And back in 2017, the Conservative MP from Jasper literally begged Justin Trudeau to do something about it because they completely saw this coming.
Mr. Speaker, Jasper National Park, one of Canada's major tourist destinations, has been devastated by the pine beetle infestation. Much of the forest is dead or dying. The dead trees are a tremendous fuel load and present a significant risk to the community of Jasper. Residents are concerned for their own safety and that of the visitors and the security of their homes. With a high risk of wildfires fueled by a forest devastated by the pine beetle, have the Liberals put a plan in place to protect this park?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our government is absolutely committed to the ecological integrity of our national parks. That is my first priority as the minister. We are working very hard in all of our parks, including Jasper National Park. I look forward to talking to the member further about this and seeing how we can move forward. Thank you.
It really goes to show how incompetent this Liberal government is. And if you want to see what the aftermath of this colossal screw-up looks like, well, the town of Jasper is now in ashes now. It no longer exists.
Okay, this lines up with the cat.
Look at that.
We may need one or two, so once I know, I'll let you know. Good.
The cars are literally melted.
Okay, thanks, Blake.
How is it?
The Nodwell.
How are the trees still up here and everything else is melted down? This is horrifying.
The Nodwell goes down to the petro can.
Entire house gone.
And just waits there. All right, I'm on my way. Yeah, that there's another water truck parked there, I think.
Wow.
That's Mom and Dad's house.
I'm stepping away from the radio for about 5 minutes.
Look at that. Look at that car in the street just melted right into the ground. Horrifying. It's sad to see one of Canada's most beautiful places literally no longer exist, turned into ashes. But I want to take this moment to remind you guys, don't let the left gaslight you. They're going to blame this on things like climate change, okay? But in reality, remind these people how much money we send overseas. How many of our water bombers did we send to Europe? Don't let them gaslight you. This is government incompetence. My thoughts are with the people in Alberta. I'm sorry we lost Jasper. It's truly a gem of our country. It's upsetting, and it's so upsetting that today at a press conference, Danielle Smith had a hard time holding back tears.
And so although those of us who experienced Jasper as visitors can't imagine what it feels like
making me emotional
to be a Jasperite right now, we share this sense of loss with all of those who live in the town, who care for it, and who have helped build it. Jasper, we will continue to stand by you, and as everyone works to get their feet back under them, and as we look forward to recovering.
Danielle got me again. Now I'm emotional. So I just want to take this moment to send my love to Alberta. We're going to get over this. We're going to build back. Things are going to be okay. And just let you know that we all have you in our hearts right now. And stay strong, Alberta, because there's no stronger place in this entire country than the province of Alberta. We're going to pull out of this. So that's the latest from Canada. Now we're going to move things down to the United States. And everyone knows this November election is huge. The entire world is watching. And one of my favorite comedians, Andrew Schulz, gave us a hilarious preview of the next election.
Biden is out and Kamala is in. The election went from drool runnings to cool runnings faster than a female cop can fumble her firearm.
Wow.
Move over, RFK. This November, we've got a new throat goat, and apparently her headshots don't miss. Kamala Harris, or as we call her, Warhawk Tua, the half-black, half-Indian parents met at a 7-Eleven robbery, is officially the Democratic nominee. Surely the Dems, the party that calls Trump the end of democracy, surely they allowed the voters to choose Kamala, right? What? No? Wait, there's no right to choose? Guys, this is a presidential election, not a woman's body in Oklahoma. Now, I don't want to seem like a flat-earthing, dinosaur-denying, believe-all-women conspiracy theorist, but it kind of feels like the Democrats dragged Biden's lifeless corpse through the campaign long enough to avoid a primary so they could place whoever they wanted as the nominee. And that's about as democratic as North Korea's Got Talent. Sidebar, last year's winner, Ching Chong Chestnut, ate 46 rats.
Wow.
Congratulations, Ching Chong. That's a lot of rats. We'll look forward to seeing how many you eat next year. What I'm saying is they used a vegetable to install a plant. And honestly, we would have been happier with a fruit. But the reality is it doesn't matter. Last week, Trump became invincible. Literally. He was leading before, and now he's number one with a bullet. At this point, if the Dems wanted to beat Thrifty Cent, they'd have to run George Washington, and Kamala could work for him. Paid. Now, why is Trump invincible? Because he has the power of Hulkamania, obviously, mother with a hard R, and also because this pimple-lipped, pug-faced incel, we'll call him a trench bulldog, tried to make Trump's brain public domain. Fortunately, even a bullet couldn't make Donald open-minded. Now, getting a shot off at the president must be an incredibly difficult thing to accomplish. I mean, not as difficult as finding binoculars to fit his eyes. Jesus, he looks like the sloth from Ice Age.
Wow.
But he must have designed a pretty ingenious plot to circumvent the Secret Service and the... Oh, what's that? Wait, you're saying that Herbie Potter was just walking around with a loaded gun like he was on an
Herbie
Alec Baldwin
Potter.
set? He was carrying a fucking ladder and a rangefinder. He propped it up on a building that had cops in it, positioned himself on the roof with a perfect sight line to the president, and no one did anything? This Mickey Mouse security detail was so goofy it made Donald duck. Oh boy. Who's in charge of the Secret Service? A lady? Wait, what? Seriously? Well, of course she didn't have anyone on top of the building. Women only care about shots on a roof when there's a pool party. Now, I don't want to seem like a Bigfoot tracking, moon landing denying Jews don't control the weather conspiracy theorist, but it doesn't exactly feel like a 20-year-old fetal alcohol face McLovin should be able to infiltrate the most advanced security detail in history. I mean, the only other thing he's penetrated was his palm. Did Kim Cheadle hire Epstein's NyQuil Night Watch? What the fuck is going on here? This just doesn't feel right. And that's the problem. Nothing feels right. We have officially entered the post-truth age. We can't trust the media. We can't trust the government. We can't trust the pharmaceutical industry. We can't even trust the food we eat. So who can you trust? Me, your good friend Schultze. This episode has been brought to you by Pfizer. There is no promo code. There's nothing to fill out. They're already inside you. But before we bitch, whine, and complain, just remember, like it or not, this is what we asked for. We wanted fast content that makes us feel good. We want politicians who lie to us. We want sugary food to fill us up and pills to slim us down. We don't want what's good for us. We want what's convenient. So we made our bed. Might as well get comfy. Sleep tight.
Pardon me. It's kind of rich to me coming from the we must save democracy people to literally circumvent democracy so they can install Kamala and she could be the first ever DEI president. Yes, Kamala might be the next president who did not earn it. And over in Washington yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu was in for a visit to talk to Congress, and this is what the far left did to his hotel. Look what they put on. Wow. This is what they put in the reception room at the Watergate Hotel. That's disgusting, man. That is nasty. Wow. So gross, man. And apparently they were pulling fire alarms too. So that Bibi couldn't actually get any sleep. Insane. And over in Washington, the pro-Palestine protesters were there, and they were there in force, doing what they love to do, defiling our national monuments. With Free Gaza on the bottom. And they're going to spray paint Hamas, which is like a terrorist group. Wow. The resistance, they're saying in the crowd. Resistance. Right. These people are scum. I mean, they're scumbags. Hamas is what? Hamas is coming? Hamas is coming. A warning sign to the West here. And they also decided to pull down the American flag and replace it with a Palestine flag. This is what the left has become, folks. It's sick. This is sickening. These people hate their own country. It's shocking to see this. Not shocking, but it enrages me to see this. Unbelievable. And these protesters didn't think that, graffitiing our monuments was enough. Replacing the American flag with a Palestine flag wasn't enough. They had to take things to the next level and decided to start burning the flag they pulled down.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
Wow.
Back up!
Screaming Allahu Akbar, burning American flags. They're lovely. Aren't these people lovely? Absolutely despicable. These people disgust me. They're lucky I wasn't there because I'm probably leaving in handcuffs. And after seeing all this footage, I found a post that kind of really perfectly sums up my thoughts here. With the pickup truck doing burnouts is considered a hate crime, but burning American flags is considered free speech. This kind of hypocrisy and double standard enrages me like I can't even describe how angry this makes me. And Ian sums it up nicely here, saying we have two choices in the 2024 election. We either go with these flag-burning, lunatic, woke people, or we get back to basics with Trump. Which side are you picking? And I wanted to take a moment here to give a shout out to all the blue-collar workers who have to clean up this mess that these protesters left behind. Shout out, my brother. Making that bell nice and clean again. Well done. So that's in America. In Canada, we also have the same thing with the pro-Palestine protesters. And Justin Trudeau is allowing so many people into this country unvetted that now our neighbors are legitimately worried that Canada's not a safe country. Marco Rubio put out this tweet saying Canada allowing Gazan refugees with potential terrorist ties into their country poses a national security threat to the United States northern border. In a letter with colleagues, urged Secretary Mayorkas to heighten precautions along the border. This is so embarrassing. I mean, even Kevin Vuong, one of our members of parliament, pointed this out, and it's terrifying. Canadians have long enjoyed mostly visa-free travel around the world, myself included. But the Trudeau government's failure to protect the integrity of our border is putting this in danger. When other nations question who we let into our country, they will question why you're trying to visit theirs. So yes, folks, for you that enjoy going to the airport and crossing the U.S. border at the airport, our nice, open, friendly border with the United States, well, that's probably going to come to an end. We're probably going to need visas to travel to the United States. We're now on the same level as some third world countries now in terms of safety to the U.S. This is how bad Justin Trudeau screwed up our immigration. This is all on him. Now, I don't oppose immigration. I like immigration. I think we need immigrants, but we need quality immigrants. We need to start vetting who we let into this country. We can't just let anyone from any country come in. I want doctors, scientists, lawyers, computer programmers, real university students, nurses. This is who I want coming into this country. People who actually provide value. But no. These are the kind of people that Trudeau lets into Canada.
Supportive of Hamas?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Are most Palestinians?
Yeah.
Palestinian people like Hamas.
I'm with the resistance.
Did you see the videos they posted of what they did on October 7th?
Everything.
And you're okay with all that?
With everything they did.
They killed innocent Israelis. They killed... Yes,
No.
they did.
No.
Yes, they did.
Give me a picture for rape.
Do you think Hamas should release the Israeli hostages?
No.
No. No.
Nothing's named Israel.
There's nothing named Israel?
Yeah.
The Quran mentions Israel over 100 times.
Is Palestine mentioned in the Quran?
No.
No. The murders Hamas did on October 7th, is that okay?
Yes. They have the right to do it.
The problem is not Hamas. We should look at the bigger picture.
They living under occupation.
But Israel left Gaza in 2005.
Sure.
What does Intifada mean?
Violent.
And neither one of us were born anywhere near 1940. We have to deal with the reality today.
No.
No, don't deal with the reality today.
Britain brought all the criminal Jews since 1948. They can go back. Holanda, Iraq.
Most of those places they were kicked out of.
These people are nuts.
Not been killed or exposed to any struggle or any violence. Not
Almost
in
every country in the Middle East.
No.
No, that's true.
Educate yourself.
What?
If they are kicked, it's because of their own actions.
What did they do besides being Jewish?
They steal, they do all awful deeds.
These are the people that Trudeau is welcoming to our country. It's truly outrageous. And did you know that 10% of Palestinians believe that October 7th was a war crime, a terrorist attack? Really, this is who we are importing. Absolute Trudeau quality. In our last story of the night in Clown World, Jennifer Aniston is apparently mad at JD Vance over his cat lady comments. Let's go watch the clip that upset Jennifer Aniston.
What I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just...
Where's the lie? Where is the lie here? Play that. It's so funny.
Via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
I mean, the man's got a point. I'm going to have to agree with JD Vance on this one. I've always said, when we look into the future at what caused our country to collapse, the civilization to collapse, it's for sure white liberal women. Yes, they will be the ones responsible for destroying the world. You can bet your money on it. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up, but tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of Pierre's latest exchange with that reporter? Was that a 10-8 round for Pierre? Did he absolutely crush it? Or did you think Pierre was being a bully with the media? Tell me in the comments down below. Also, Jasper fired. Do you guys believe that it was climate change? Or do you believe that it was a lack of preparation from our government? Tell me in the comments. Also, what do you guys think about this whole Gaza refugee situation? Do you think our neighbors in the south have every right to be worried and wanting to close their border with Canada? Do you think they're taking it too far, or do you actually agree with them that we're now becoming an unsafe country? Tell me in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed today's report and you want to support me, well, you're already doing it by watching the video, but smash the like button, drop a comment, that helps out the most. Share this out. Tell your friends about that crazy Canadian, the Pleb, on YouTube. If you want to support me even more, you could buy a membership for $5 Canadian. And everyone knows our currency is worthless. My name is the Pleb. Double P, hit us with the outro.
Hey, good to see you. Hey, keep up the great work.
Thank you, guys. You hear that?
Keep up the great work.
Keep up the great work.
Let's bring it home.
Let's bring it home.
The Pleb.
The Pleb.
See you guys tomorrow. Peace.